Hello, I have a movie review for you that I got with my Prime Video. It was King David starring Richard Gere, and it seems to follow what I recall from the Bible pretty well. So, of course, they started off with David and Goliath. There wasn't really a big build-up, and he killed the giant. Um, they had a lady yelling after they said that David had served in King Saul's army for 10 years, that David has killed his 10,000s and Saul had killed his 1,000. And of course, I guess it was Samuel the prophet that selected David to be anointed uh, king, overlooking the older and more accomplished sons of Jesse, um, which I've heard preachers speak about, and it was in the movie they mentioned that God looks at the heart. Um, that God can use anyone. So they said he served in Saul's army for 10 years. Eventually, Saul tried to kill him, and David was not willing to retaliate. Um, they had a scene, I don't know whether David was forced to kill Saul's son, but Saul got very upset and killed himself. And of course, later, one of David's sons, and they did say that he had married 3 women after he had Bathsheba's um, husband killed, Uriah the Hittite, sending him, in the movie it says, to the front of the lines. But I'm trying to recall if the Bible also had like a command for the men to move back to make sure that Uriah was killed. And Bathsheba was the mother of King Solomon. Um, I don't, maybe David might have started with trying to rebuild the temple, and I don't know whether it was Solomon that might have finished it. But so he had the 3 wives. Now, this might be in the permissive will of God, but not the perfect will of God, because in the book of Genesis, it says, you know, one man and one woman, and they will cleave to each other. Um, so I know that there's a preacher, Mike Murdoch, says there's a king and a fool in every man, and that Abigail had spoke to the king in David and became his wife. Um, let's see. So David's son Absalom rebelled against his father, and I don't recall whether it was David himself that killed his son or whether it was someone else. And spoiler alert, near the end of the movie, uh, apparently the prophet Samuel was about to die because David was at the bedside of an ailing man. So it was a good movie. You had to look at David closely to see that it was Richard Gere, because for a while I was like, I thought Richard Gere was in this, but as David, he had, not long hair looking like a woman, but, just longer hair. And you'd have to look at him closely to see that it was Richard Gere. So let me see what else is going on. I had told a lady friend about a phone number and and you give your address, your name and address when you call the number, and it might send you a $75 gift certificate. So um, she went and brought some lady onto the vehicle when we were about to do something, and I was gonna, really uh, do something very beneficial to her. It was going to take up my time to do it. And so she brought this lady on and she was like, oh, I'll take you to the organization. So essentially, she's saying that she doesn't believe what I was saying. And I mentioned it to her and she says, well, it's my vehicle and my gas. It's none of my business. I do what I want. But I could also have withdrew my favor from her if she's going, going to be that inconsiderate and disrespectful. But that's what she does, so I should try not to let that upset me too much. Probably have to limit how much I might even try to correct her on that because I think I pretty much already had. And of course, the expression is to paraphrase and to convince a person against their will is to have the same opinion still. So that was unpleasant. And I had a relative tell me something about, well, I don't want to tell you about when I'm sick because nothing you can do about it. I don't want to trouble you. But if I have asked you so that I can be informed, and you go for months without, returning my calls, um, of course, it shouldn't be based on what I can do for you. So that was unpleasant as well. Let's see what's going on in sports or the news. Uh, I don't know. I I cut off my cable. I still can get some stuff on the internet. So I think that's about it.